30 cans of Coke for $50, this block of cheese for almost $14, $4.90 off for chocolate. Oh no thanks, $7 for some milk. How am I supposed to survive here?
Millions have turned out at protests.
Millions of people took to the streets, swarming city halls. There have been massive protests against what has had the White House, and yesterday Bernie Sanders and AOC held their latest protest. This time in Los Angeles, they said 36,000 people attended.
We're fighting a president
We are fighting back against a president who is destroying the American Constitution every day. 84 days since Donald Trump returned to the White House, and America is more divided than ever. Accusing President Trump of manipulating the market, causing outrage, because the tycoons seem to have pocketed billions of dollars thanks to the tariff policy, while people have to spend all their money to buy essential goods that are getting more expensive because of the tariffs. Large protests have continuously broken out, with one event last weekend alone estimated to have attracted nearly 40,000 people protesting the president and the tycoons. And what is happening to America? One user posted a picture of empty egg trays on social media, with the sarcastic caption, "Egg prices have dropped. Thanks, Mr. Trump. Next question, please." Earlier this year, the United States experienced an egg crisis due to a prolonged avian flu epidemic that forced the U.S. to cull nearly 170 million birds. In major cities like Chicago, consumers were paying $8 to $10 for a carton of 12 eggs. The situation was so desperate that many Americans attempted to smuggle eggs from Mexico. So instead of fentanyl, we have the U.S. Border Patrol focused on cracking down on egg smuggling across the border. To make up for the shortage, the U.S. has increased egg imports from countries like Turkey, Brazil, and South Korea. However, the news that tariffs will continue to increase egg prices has prompted U.S. consumers to rush to the supermarket to grab every last egg.
How much are y'all spending on groceries?
Many people have reported, I wonder how much everyone spent on groceries? Because a $492 grocery receipt without food stamps is crazy. Going grocery shopping with me and my 6 kids. Hopefully I don't get charged. Easy $5. Remember? This is what we grew up with. $5 and $98. If you buy milk, you can't afford cereal. Wanted to cook spaghetti, but only had enough money to buy noodles. 12s and 99s. Well, I know that's not the cheap stuff you voted for. Sold my soul for a piece of orange shit.
12, motherfucker.
$12.99 for a 12-pack. That's over $1 a can. But that's on sale. It can't be. He's playing a trick on you, isn't he?
You think your grocery prices are bad?
You think your grocery bill is expensive? Look at me. I am here to show you the prices of my groceries, so you don't have to feel bad about the prices you pay. A message to Mr. Trump, President of the United States. In 2016, when you said you would run for president, you promised you would not be a president, but a businessman. So my family and I supported you.
You said promises made.
You said you would keep your word. But Mr. President, gas was $253 a gallon when you took office. Now it's hovering anywhere from $208, $209 to almost $304. Mr. President, look at this. Look what you did.
So the University of Michigan came out this morning and said that
the University of Michigan announced this morning that consumer sentiment in the United States fell 11% this month, to its second lowest level since records began in the 1950s. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. Consumer sentiment is weaker and more pessimistic than at any point during the Great Recession. The only time it was worse was 3 years ago, when Americans panicked over a $5 gas price increase. The anger erupted into protests as consumers were made poorer by tariffs. But Trump's friends seem to have made a fortune from taxes. On April 2nd, President Trump announced plans to impose a 10% tariff on all imports into the U.S. starting April 5th. Then, starting April 9th, a series of U.S. trading partners were subject to higher reciprocal tariffs of up to 50%. This move immediately caused financial markets to fluctuate, with Wall Street and a series of stock markets around the world burning red for many consecutive sessions. At 9:37 a.m. on April 9th, U.S. President Donald Trump posted on his social media network the message, "This is a great time to buy," along with the letters DGT. DGT is both his initials and the stock code of Trump Media and Technology Group. The message was posted after Trump's reciprocal tax policy took effect at 01 a.m. on April 9th. Nearly 4 hours later, at 1:18 p.m., Trump announced that he would delay the reciprocal tax on partners, keeping the general tax rate of 10% for most of the economy. The U.S. stock market immediately exploded after the tax deferral announcement. DGT shares alone rose 21.67%, meaning investors who followed Trump's buying advice in the morning trading session on April 9th would have made significant profits. That is why 6 Democratic senators have called for an investigation into the possibility that President Donald Trump or his allies are manipulating the market.
Good day for billionaires.
It's a great day for billionaires. A very great day. I'm not kidding. Sometimes it's just inexcusable that 2 of those billionaires happened to be with Trump in the Oval Office that day. And you can see for yourself that Trump was excited. That's the only way to describe how much money they made off of him.
This is Charles Schwab.
This is Charles Schwab. It's not just a company, it's actually a person. And today he's worth $2.5 billion. And this guy's worth $900 million. That's Charles Schwab, the financial brokerage giant, and Rogers Penske. The Penske name was painted on trucks driving down the highway. Trump said they made more than $3 billion in a single day. It's worth noting that the video was posted publicly on X by a Trump communications aide.
You can just imagine.
You can imagine how pleased Trump would be if his billionaire CEO friends made a fortune on Monday. It's likely to happen. Because Trump exempted electronics from reciprocal tariffs, albeit temporarily. After a tumultuous week of unexpected tariffs, President Trump went to a boxing match with some of his cabinet members and advisors like Elon Musk. He posed for a photo in front of a new gold statue of himself at his golf course while on a taxpayer-funded vacation. Here he is with the new gold statue at his golf course. It seems that all the negative news cannot affect the president's good mood. A sea of people gathered outside the Los Angeles City Hall. And this isn't the first time it's happened. It's the latest in a campaign spearheaded by Democratic Congressman Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez called the anti-oligarchy movement.
The oligarchy.
Elon Musk posted this video before the rally, a compilation of clips of Senator Sanders discussing the threat from the oligarchy from over 30 years ago.
Well, Elon, you...
Hey Elon, you're right. That's what I've been saying. What do you mean by being anti-oligarchy? It means being anti-system, the systems that oppress us. I don't think America should be sold to people who are running it out of greed. The latest polls show that U.S. President Donald Trump's approval rating has hit a record low since he began his second term. Any number of results indicate that the president's disapproval rating is off the charts. I can't say whether Trump is right or wrong. His policies are right or wrong. The truth is that besides the disgruntled and the people who turn their backs, there are still many Americans who still believe in Mr. Trump in the midst of the tariff storm. They believe that his tax strategy is completely justified, and they need to accept the pain before everything gets better. However, one thing is undeniable. America is once again as bitterly divided as what happened during Mr. Trump's first term, and you probably remember how it ended in chaos and humiliation. Do you think history will repeat itself? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Now goodbye, and see you again.